Yesterday I was at the Maruia Falls checking out the devastation from the 1929 Murchison earthquake. I drove down the Buller Gorge looking at the big slips that came down during the Inangahua earthquake, and lo and behold I came across Lionel and Bev Donaldson, who were having a cup of tea at the Inangahua Junction. Lionel has his own story about being trapped in the Buller Gorge when the slips came down on the fateful morning of the Inangahua earthquake.
So Lionel, back 50 years ago now, this earthquake had happened. You'd left your truck out at Jimmy and Jackie's there, picked it up early in the morning, and away you went.
I'd be sort of trying to be away at 4:30.
4:30 on the road with the truck, yeah?
Yeah, heading to Blenheim.
Yeah. So this is a normal routine ride through to Blenheim?
Yeah, just when I had to, I'd take a load up, but otherwise I never took any more up after that.
No.
It was too far. There was nothing in it.
So you went up, you snaked your way through the iron bridge there and around there. Everything's all going smooth.
Yeah.
A couple of other trucks were following you, were they?
Yeah, two Craddock's.
Two Craddock's trucks. They're from Westport or Greymouth?
Westport.
Yes.
Cyril Smith and Bob Coleman.
Oh yes.
They drove for Craddock's and the BMC Austins.
And what were they carting?
Just general freight, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, they had little single axle trailers on the back.
Right.
Yeah, and as they'd hit them bits upgrades, I could sort of leave their lights, but once they started on the downhill grade, they travelled a bit faster than I did, and they'd catch up again.
Yeah, so they had trailers on and you just had the truck.
Yeah, I just had the truck.
Yeah. When did you first have an inkling that the earth was moving or something was amiss?
Well, all I could see was a shake of leaves, like a mob of stock taken off.
Oh, yes.
And the leaves and small stones rolling down onto the road.
Shit.
And next thing I made the top of the terrace, and I couldn't go no further because there's a stone there big as a truck.
Right.
Though I never seen it come down and shake. But that's where the leaves must have been coming from.
Yes.
That it were rolling down through the bush. And when it landed on the road was blocked. As I was coming out of the gorge, was first thing we seen, the river didn't seem to be moving. We could see it out between the trees.
Yes.
It just looked as though it was dead, like a lake. And I said, that doesn't sound right to me.
So this was after daylight now?
Yeah, it was well after daylight then, because he made us a cup of tea. And
yes. How far did you walk to get to the roadman's hut, Lionel?
Not a great deal.
Yeah.
But
a kilometre? Mile?
Oh yeah, right there.
Yes.
Turned around and back a bit from out of the bush. There's a wide place there that says the signboards changed the boundaries, the counties.
Yes.
Well, we left from there
on
the side of the road.
Yes. To Buller to Tasman.
Yeah. And then we started walking. Well, I think it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We got out to Jimmy James's on the hill.
Yes.
And there's a little concrete hut on the side.
Yes.
And the chopper come flying around. They were looking to see if the river was going to cause much trouble at the junction, because they were trying to clean everybody out of the junction. I thought she was going to come down there for a big wake.
Yes.
But if they would have went up, which they did go, but what they'd seen I don't know, because we seen them fly up and they landed on the road when they come back.
Yeah.
But they just couldn't take it all in because they were flying above the trees.
Yes.
And we walked it, and we had to climb up way up in the bush to get around the top. This side of Dublin Terrace, where it comes down into where the pub used to be.
Yes.
And we were up in there for about an hour and 20 minutes. And then we come down too soon. We had to still scramble across a couple of slips.
Oh, heck yes.
The other two fellas only had shoes on. I had my boots.
Yes.
And they were about, they were in the 60s then.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we come right out and cross the iron bridge. That bridge is all on rollers for earthquakes.
What? It was already before, ready in preparation?
Yeah, when they built it.
Yes.
Yeah, chopped the land in the middle of the road. And he said, well, you might as well just get in the chopper.
Yeah. He
said, I'll fly these two fellas to Westport, drop them home,
yeah.
Then I'll bring you back to the junction.
Yeah.
Then you'll have to find your way. And that's when I met up with the cops.
Yeah.
And they sort of they must have had a vehicle sort of bit, each stopping
Yes.
to give everybody a lift through Browns
Oh,
Creek.
okay, yeah.
And once I got into my own yard, I got my Land Rover going. But in the meantime, they'd all come into here.
Yeah, right into Reefton with the choppers.
Yeah, no, with their vehicles.
Oh yes.
Jackie and Jimmy, and they stopped here that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, it was all over to the Ministry of Works.
Yes.
And we had a hell of a job to get a job because old Harold Duncan, he didn't used to like us much because we wouldn't go to the pubs and shout for him all the time, you know, but that wasn't our way.
No.
If they didn't want to give us the work, well, we just went without. But
Yeah.
we got to Westport in the end, but nobody wants to really know about it. The head man in Westport, he got us the job on the Ministry, and we were there for bloody months.
Yes. Working for the ministry.
Yeah,
cart
yeah,
driver,
we used to come home and take our sides off the truck,
Yeah.
the high sides, put our gravel sides on, cart gravel all day,
Yes.
and then come home, and we had a couple of coal mines we used to cut from, and we had to empty the bins for them at night
Yes.
so they could work during the day. And after that, well, they got the rail going, but it took a long time to even get the rail going.
Yes.
And there was nothing doing for quite a while.
So did the coal mining slow down too after the earthquake? Because a lot of inspections would have had to go on.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Well, I think, I'm not too sure, but any of the mines that wanted to carry on working, they had just had, until the railway got going, they just had to dump the coal.
Yes.
Yeah, unless the odd truck
Yeah.
come in from Christchurch.
Yeah.
That seemed to be, every last contractor's job was, before they went through the mill, was carting coal to Christchurch because
Yeah.
there was no load back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then after that, well, we worked for the Ministry of Works till the mines got going, and
Yes.
things just gradually floated back into.
Mm.
They never had a bloody creek of gravel left on the beach because that deviation at the junction
Yes.
was all done by us with four-wheeler trucks.
Yes.
And we were there for bloody months doing that.
Yes,
It was
yeah.
bloody as high as this house.
Yes.
Yeah, because the old road used to go around underneath the cliff.
That's right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Can I
well,
go back to the Buller River? When you noticed something, you're looking down into the big river there, and something was wrong. You
yeah,
said,
we knew something was wrong.
yeah. There was no water flowing. in
No
it.
water flowing, and that was a sort of a rapid then before it. That's where it must have been a slip once before.
Yes.
And I said, well, there's nothing to do with me what you're looking for up there, but
Yeah.
I said, my theory of the slip, it won't hit the junction in a wave.
No.
I said, it'll only come down and it'll build up and come over as a trickle,
Yes.
and when the wash basin's full,
Yeah.
she'll come down here, but not as a rush.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they
Yeah.
hadn't seen it then. Oh, no, she's going to come down there.
They
Take
were
it.
shitting themselves a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
They thought the worst, like a dam burst.
Yeah, that's it.
But it was such a big volume of gravel there that
Yeah.
it would have taken.
Yeah.
But it took a month or more to
Yeah,
to
well-
road, did it?
Yeah, well, when we got through so far, I walked through, we had a big dump, we were tipping over the edge of the river.
Yes.
Well, when you've seen it, you knew, well, this could never flood the junction.
No.
But I think they were probably in Maine trying to get the people out of the junction
Yes.
to somewhere else.
Yes.
And it was only that poor lady in the house just down
Heafy.
White Cliffs there.
Yeah.
The bloody slips rolled down on top of her bloody house.
Yes.
But
But I was up at the Maruia Falls there, before I spotted you there.
Yeah.
But they happened in the '39 earthquake with the Murchison earthquake. That was with the big upheaval there.
Yeah, well, that's what these drivers said. They were in the last one, but I wasn't down here at that time.
Right.
And they said, we're better off to walk towards home
Yes.
than walk away.
Yeah.
But unbeknownst to us,
Yes.
no, we sure went to Merch and we'd have been,
You've been home in a flash.
yeah.
Mm. They said that the water meter, the meters of the water, rose 30 metres beyond that bloody dam, you know?
Yeah, well, you could see when you started coming up the Dublin Terrace past the Roeblin's hut,
Yes.
after we got there, she just cleared the bush off till she hit the top of the road where the bank was.
Yes.
Then she run back into the river
Yes.
because
yeah.
the muddy water was up in the trees,
Oh, yeah.
but the bank stopped it.
Yeah.
And
So it squirted through the valley, up the wall, and then back down again, and blocked the river.
Yeah.
So it was only slop there,
Yeah.
and the
that's
water
right.
behind 30 metres up in the air, and then slowly come across in the road. It
Yeah,
didn't let it go in a whoosh, you know.
No. They might have got a bit of a whoosh, but there wasn't enough water dammed up
No,
in that time.
no.
But if she'd have come later on, if they'd had, well, they made it go, I think they'd had to blow it.
Yeah.
And that was more than 5 minutes for them days too, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything was a big effort in them
Yeah,
days.
it was.
Yeah. A few weeks, they started cleaning the road from here so they could get connected with the junction again.
Yes.
And I don't think it was a very long episode getting to Westport and either cleaning the just to get a track through.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think they could get around the west coast,
Right.
and come up that way.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was bad here. Well, when the Murchison earthquake was here, they had power poles going along the straight over here before you hit the saddle.
Yes.
And the fellow I worked for on the mine out the road, afterwards, he remembers the power poles going like that.
Yes.
You see the old wires going.
Yes.
He
Yes.
said he don't know how they didn't break.
That's true.
Because they were mining up Marys at the time.
Yes.
And that was Albans. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Ray Pearson and all them from Westport, once they got the road open, they were all there. Carton, Avery's.
Yes.
Avery's been with the around Westport for a while, but that was the old fellow had it then. Because
Yes.
he used to do they took the excuse to widen the Bullagorge Road after the earthquake.
Yes.
And it was never a dangerous road again. They made it wide enough.
Much wider, yeah.
But wherever the road was mainly blocked,
Yeah.
the road was still there under the slips.
Oh, yes.
They had to get all the slips off.
Yes.
Yeah, but she went up and down that much.
Yes.
Yeah,
All over the place, wasn't
yeah.
it?
But
Yes.
you could have walked through in your shoes, but I was started to get out of the bloody show scared.
Yes.
If I'd have been on my own, I probably would have went down the Bull River.
Yes.
I was,
Walk down it.
well, yeah, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known where to keep going.
Yeah.
'Cause I wasn't very brave in the bush and
Yeah.
in night time, dark time, you know.
Yeah.
And well, I don't know how we didn't get hit with the trucks because the fellas driving that one said he said I thought you were gone. He said the bloody I've seen your tailboard and my lights
Yes.
in a bit of a gap. He said and then you disappeared.
Yeah.
I know. He said I couldn't see you again. But I was in the truck and out of the truck but once my feet hit the ground the first time,
Yeah.
I don't know how I knew it. But I thought bloody earthquake.
Oh, yes.
And I didn't know whether to start running back to the truck or start.
Yes.
And then I thought the truck's not turned off. I had to turn it off.
Oh, yes.
And I had to
That's-
clamber back up into it and,
Oh, sure.
turn it off. And then I had to think, well, I better put some stones under the wheel or something because Christ knows how long it's going to be here. Well, I didn't think we'd see it again. I thought the hill would have come down on top of it.
Right.
And then when Dan O'Donnell, who picked it up, he used to drive for the sawmills in Merch.
Yes.
When he said he couldn't believe how quick it took it. They got it out.
Yes.
I think it was about a week.
Yes. Yeah. Happened myself.
Yeah, well, when we first come down here, that little pub was open and Newton Flat was open.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was another pub.
Yeah.
Like
Like the Owen River, I suppose, the same sort of
Yeah,
thing. That's
yeah,
one that's
yeah, yeah.
remaining, isn't
yeah,
it?
well, the road went around the back and out
Yes.
and come out this side of Merch. Yeah.
So 50 years ago today, what age would you have been then when all this happened to you?
Oh, Christ.
He's going to be 82 in a couple of weeks.
Right.
Yeah, it was
82 in a couple of weeks.
yeah.
Let's take
I was
50
still
off
going
that.
to school when we come down here.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
went to school at Condon.
Yeah, he was 12 when he came in.
Yes.
So, we were married when we were, Lon was 21. 81, away from,
I'd go to,
82 he's going to be on the 31st of this month.
You're 82 now. Take 50 off that.
For-
So you were 32 when this all happened. Yeah, you're just getting
Yeah, just
going in your
nearly
business and
32.
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were just bought, yeah. I was still working on the coal mine out at Burst Creek with me and a couple of fellows there. We were in Clayhooch with the mine, you know, and we were leasing the lease and
Yes.
yeah, because all my ambition was to have trucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was Mitchells and Donaldsons, or Donaldson and Mitchells, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mitchell Brothers and
Mitchell
Donaldson.
Brothers and
Yeah.
Donaldson.
Yeah.
Yeah. And What were your main trucks you had then?
Ford Traders, the
Yeah.
old Ford Traders.
Yeah.
Like that, they were all old gear in them days. And
Yes.
we used to go to Minister Works for sales and
Yes.
buy old ones. Sometimes we had to go back with another one and cart it home because something we were missing out of it and we couldn't drive it home. But we used to be a great habit of gathering up parts, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, there's still, believe it or not, there's still brand new motors out that farm
I see.
for them old trucks. But as we went ahead,
Yeah.
it didn't fit that next truck. Yeah, and
So my friend down in Hokitika has just restored a Thames Trader truck, you know,
Yeah.
8.
Yeah,
and,
well, ours went over the hill a couple of years ago. Francis Road Medals bought it,
yes.
and they were going to renew it and put it in their
Museum.
in the museum.
Yes. Yeah.
Jackie's got one out there.
Yeah, Jackie's got.
One the same.
We had 3 of them when
He
we
still drives around.
started off. The other 2 are still out there and going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, we were a long time buying a digger. We had front end loaders,
Yeah.
and well, not in the time of the earthquake. We mainly had trucks. They were coal trucks, so we started carting gravel.
Yes.
Yeah. But once we got a digger, oh, yes, Christ, it was great going because you could dig gravel bloody out of the ground nearly anywhere around here.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just sort of covered with a bit of soil.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
But they, being them out the farm, now mechanically minded,
yes.
we were out, some mornings we were there 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
putting the diffie in the old truck or something,
Yeah.
be here to cart coal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Now that's how it was in those days, wasn't it? You know,
Yeah, well,
it's
that's
self-sufficient, and you learn
Yeah.
by your mistakes, or you learn bloody by the hard school of knocks, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
And then as we went through, we bought licences off fellas like T.J. Williams at Blacks Point.
Yes.
He had one, and
Braidwood.
who?
Braidwood.
Jock Braidwood, he had
Yeah.
3.
Yes.
Yeah, but they were getting on, you see, and
Yeah.
they were wanting to retire. But
Slasher Thomas.
yeah, we got one of his, but we got that through
Tommy Williams.
Tommy Williams because
Oh,
he was Tommy Williams. Tommy Williams had that one off them. They were returned servicemen,
Yes.
and they were set up with the state mine
Yeah.
to cart the coal, but they carted most of it at Blacks Point. But
Yes.
the poor buggers that had big of a bombing over the seas where they were and shaking all the
Yeah.
time, you know.
Yeah.
And then that's how the local fellas come to get the licences because they wouldn't turn up for work. So
Yeah.
when they closed down, we bought one of them in here and there. And
Mhm.
but then they changed all that. If you had one licence, you just run many structures as you like. And the licence was worth no money, so
Yeah.
we didn't have nothing to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 50 years ago today, Bev, all hell let loose here in Reefton, didn't it?
Definitely did.
Yeah. You were in, which house were you in Reefton then?
The same one.
Was it? Yeah.
No. I really thought the house was twisted right round.
Yes.
It was dreadful.
You had young children then too?
Yeah, a 4-year-old and a 8.
So Lionel had cleared off at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was 5:20, I think. Oh, it was dreadful. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. No, I was rushed in to got the kids, and then we all got out. And then a man over the road came over to see if we were all right. And
Yeah.
then the one next door yelled out, so we went to their house, and I was dreadful. But we never come back to this house, you know, for an hour or so. And everything falling down and
Yeah.
things falling in the washing machine and
Yes.
chimneys down, and well, what a mess.
Yes.
Yeah, but so we sort of stayed at Waghorns for the best part of the day until got the courage to get in the car and have a drive round and
Yeah.
see all the chimneys that were down, and then didn't have a clue because there was no communications at all that what it was like out Crondon. And my mother was in a little house on her own, but my brothers had gone up there, but she rushed outside and cut a foot on a broken or somewhere and cut a foot on broken glass. And so they had no chimneys either. They were really worse off than what we were.
Yes.
And then they all sort of come in here later in the day, and there was no way of getting communication. I didn't have a clue where Lionel was,
Yeah.
but I was thinking, and nobody knew exactly where the earthquake was. But I don't know how we found out, but I thought, well, Lionel will be in Blenheim, and he won't have a clue unless it's over radios or anything, and he never had a clue, so waited all day and heard nothing.
Mm.
But I think I did let the police know or somebody that if they had any word where they might have been, but
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Then it was a big surprise when we were having tea, walked in about 6 o'clock that night. We'd heard nothing,
Yes.
not a word. But we knew it was bad down round the junction and everywhere, how bad it was.
Yes.
And he arrived in, but he'd had a big day too.
Yeah, they had a big day, all right.
Yeah, walk across the hills. And,
Yeah.
no, it was pretty awful. Then it was quite good to have a house full of people but the quakes went on all day.
Yes.
You know, just on and off. You just get down the passage and away it would go again. And
Yes.
it was dreadful. I hate them.
Mm.
I still hate them. Even the little one stirs me up.
Yeah.
But it was a big job then getting fires and that. And,
Yes. Yeah.
'cause it was just coming on winter too, wasn't it?
Christchurch earthquake, Bev, was another spectacular event that you were involved in.
Yeah,
too.
that was dreadful.
Yes.
Yeah, we were over there for a doll show. But anyway, that was all put off. That was at 5:30 too, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah,
I think so. And we were in a motel and we were in a downstairs one. And that was dreadful. I straight out of bed and got dressed. Lionel was saying, "Stay where you are."
Yeah.
No, I said, "I'm getting me clothes on, my shoes and socks and
Yeah.
ready." And that was dreadful. But we were out of Christchurch by 8:30. We said we'll go home, and we had no clue. We seen all the cracks in the road and everything,
Yeah.
and the cars were filling up with petrol across the road. And we thought, "No, we'll get out." Did we have to get petrol?
No, I don't know, we got it down the road further.
And anyway, we got out, but we didn't have a clue till we got home how bad it was.
Yeah.
Seen it on TV.
Yeah.
And straight away I thought it'll be Reefton. So I tried to ring home, and I think I might have got through. I don't know, but they'd felt it. But then my sister from Dunedin, I rang her, and she said, "No, it's Christchurch," because she has a radio on all the time,
Aye. Mm.
and that was dreadful. So we've been through two good ones,
Yes.
bad ones.